I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. This March 29th marks the descent of the Our Lady of Coromoto in the town of Miraca on the Paraguaná Peninsula in Falcón State. When the Spanish arrived, it was a community of Caquetío Indians. Miraca dates back to 1556. Its name was coined when some Spaniards arrived at the town of Adícora on their way to Vela de Coro. As they passed by, one of the Spaniards said to one another, "Look here!" And so an indigenous person who lived in this town, whose identity is unknown, named it like that, "Look here," in Spanish, Miraca. At the same time, the historian Pedro Manuel Arcaya, in his history of the state of Falcón, wrote that in 1556, during the time of Governor Arias de Villacinta, the towns of Miraca, Santana, and Cajerúa were named in Paraguaná. To this day, the Caquetío heritage of the population remains intact. They are famous for their clay vessels, which they craft using the same techniques they used centuries ago. The 18th and 19th of April are very important days for the inhabitants of Miraca. For almost 80 years of Coromoto devotion, they have expressed their love for the Mother of God who appeared in the Venezuelan land. This devotion to Our Lady of Coromoto takes place on the eve of September 8th, and a grand mass is celebrated on September 9. In 1942, Mr. Pablo Medina lent the image of Our Lady of Coromoto, as he always did, and the community gathered outdoors because there was no church. 7 years later, this celebration was discontinued in the neighboring communities. This prompted the community of Miraca to organize and call the first pro-church meeting, which was held on October 4th, 1949. Men and women of the town began the arduous work to begin the construction of the church. The entire community actively collaborated. The first stone for the construction of the Miraca temple was laid by Monsignor Francisco José Iturriza, Archbishop of Coro, in 1949. On September 9, 1951, although the church bell tower was still missing, the first Mass was celebrated by Father Victor Salcedo, and to give even greater solemnity to the whole ceremony, there were celebrated 36 First Holy Communions and 200 confirmations. On February 2nd, 1952, the temple of Our Lady of Coromoto was formally inaugurated with the presence of Monsignor Francisco José Iturriza. That same month, the feasts of Our Lady were to be celebrated, but circumstances arose that led the organized community to meet again with the Archbishop of Coro, where it was agreed that these festivities would be held every April 19th, as Coromoto is the patron saint of Venezuela and an important day for our country, as the first steps towards independence were taken on that day. This date remains in effect to this day. This year, as the date falls on Holy Thursday and Good Friday, it has been moved to April 30th, when the eve of the Cultural Night will be held and the solemn Mass will be celebrated on May 1st, having already taken place the descent of Our Lady of Coromoto on March 29th. Friends, let's repeat: Our Lady of Coromoto, patroness of Venezuela, renew our faith throughout our country, because we know that you lead us to God, and with God we always win.